It's stage 4 is over, 213.5K, mostly flat, a little climb towards the end, but everyone expected a group finish today. Here's Alaphilippe. He starts the day in yellow after his spectacular ride yesterday, and we had a three-man breakaway at the beginning with Char, Backert, and Alfredo. They got about 3.5 minutes worth of gap. Traditional sprint stage setup. It was a fairly relaxed roll through the farmlands of France, and the three-man break was sort of whittled down one by one. Alfredo was the first to go, and then Char ended up being the last man standing from that three-man breakaway. And we saw that the action began to heat up as we approached that final Category 4 climb. Team Sunweb hit the front, hoping to make things difficult to get Michael Matthews away from the pure sprinters. Ultimately, that was not successful. We saw the whole group remain together, and there was a little bit of a lull in action, and Lilian Calmejean hit the front, took a little flyer with about 11K to go, and if you'll remember, he won a stage 2 years ago. But he never really got much of a gap. He was reeled in, and we saw what we all expected, a group sprint to the finish. It was another very close one. We saw Viviani just ahead of Kristoff, who put in a great ride today. Ewan in third, Sagan in fourth, Groenewegen in fifth. Here's the rest of the top 10. Viviani on top. Quick-Step takes their second win in as many days. We're seeing a similar thing that we saw from Jumbo. They're on a roll, spreading the wealth throughout the team. We actually saw Alaphilippe in yellow leading out the sprint train for Viviani, so a great team ride for everybody today. Here's the GC after stage 4, no major changes. We didn't see any major crashes either, so that's good news for the GC guys. We have Alaphilippe in yellow for another day. Here's the profile for tomorrow, stage 5. We see it's 175.5 kilometers, and there's a Cat 2 and a Cat 3 within the last 30. That penultimate climb, 5K at 6.7%, followed right up by 4.6K at 6.1%. That should drop the pure sprinters. And I don't think we're going to see a breakaway tomorrow. I think it's too early. There are a lot of strong teams. We haven't really had that many riders pull out yet. Everyone's still strong and motivated. Quick-Step should be motivated to keep yellow with Alaphilippe. And actually, he could win this stage if it ends up being a reduced sprint. Sagan, I mean, this stage seems to have Sagan written all over it. Bora should be riding for the victory. We saw Team Sunweb riding for Matthews today. This stage could suit Matthews as well. Who else could win? I mean, don't count out Alaphilippe. We saw him take a sprint victory in Tirreno Adriatico. And obviously, you know, they say the yellow jersey gives you wings. Maybe Alaphilippe could win tomorrow. Valverde, I mean, he hasn't had a great season, but traditionally he could win a stage like this. Wout van Aert, he's been on a tear recently. He could win a stage like this. There are so many guys to choose from. So let's take a look at the finish here. We see it's perfectly flat, no little kickers to worry about. But we're going to take a look at the map here, and there is a roundabout here. It's a pretty tricky one, and this comes within less than a kilometer from the finish. So here's a look at Street View. It's a pretty big one. It's not all that tight. You know, who knows what we're going to see? Are we going to see a reduced sprint? How big is that group going to be? This could play a factor here. Watch out for that. Here's the weather. We saw headwinds today, but the wind is not as strong tomorrow. So who will I pick tomorrow? I think it's a bit of a toss-up between Sagan and Matthews. I think a lot of people are going to pick Sagan, so I'm going the other way. I'm picking Matthews. We saw yesterday, stage 3, he won that group sprint. He was the best of the rest behind Alaphilippe. And we saw on that last climb today, Team Sunweb was drilling it up that climb. They have confidence in him. I think Team Sunweb, Matthews, he will win tomorrow. As far as the yellow jersey goes, I don't expect it to change shoulders. Alaphilippe actually has a pretty good shot at victory tomorrow, so he should hang on to yellow. As far as the overall GC contenders go, I don't expect to see a whole lot of any changes tomorrow, but there are those 2 climbs towards the end. Everyone's going to want to be up front, going to be nervous. We might see crashes or mechanicals come into play. Someone might lose time. I hope it doesn't happen. But hey, tomorrow is a pretty good stage. It's a little bit unpredictable. Should be a fun one to watch. I'll see you then.